Chapter 6. The east wing opens the following evening. An uneasy calm settled over the manor. I had spent the day wandering the halls, observing portraits, inspecting the decaying furniture, and listening to the subtle sounds that seemed to follow me wherever I went. The whispers had returned, faint and teasing, drifting from behind locked doors and shadowed corners. But it was the east wing, that forbidden, locked section of the manor, that occupied my every thought. The butler, as if reading my mind, appeared in the hall as I approached the heavy oak door. "I trust you will not seek entry," he said flatly. "I must," I replied, voice firmer than I felt.
Wow.
"There's something here, something that belongs to this house and to me." He regarded me for a long moment, his thin lips pressed together, eyes unblinking. Then, with a slow, deliberate motion, he produced a key, old, iron-wrought, and heavy with age. "At the east wing," he said. "You asked for this. Remember, curiosity has a cost." I took the key, its weight unnerving in my hand. The lock yielded easily, and the door creaked open, revealing a darkness so deep it seemed to swallow the light. The air that escaped was cold, metallic, and carried the faint temps of decay. Stepping inside, I found a long corridor lined with more portraits, faces distorted in ways I could not immediately describe. Some smiling, some frowning, all watching. The floorboards groaned beneath my weight. At the far end, a faint light flickered. Candlelight. Something else. I followed the corridor, drawn by a combination of dread and fascination. Each step felt heavier than the last, as though the house itself resisted my intrusion. The walls seemed to close in, the shadows shifting, whispering unintelligible words. At the end of the hall stood a massive door, different from the rest. Black oak, carved with curling patterns that seemed to writhe under the flickering light. I could feel the vibrations of something alive beyond it, a slow, pulsing energy that made my chest tighten. I pushed the door open. Inside was a room unlike any I had seen in the manor. The ceiling arched high above, painted with faded murals depicting celestial battles, angels and demons intertwined. The floor was covered in dust and debris, but arranged meticulously were objects, candles, old books, scattered bones, and a single cracked mirror leaning against the wall. The mirror's surface seemed to ripple, as if it were liquid, and I caught a fleeting glimpse of a face behind me that was not my own. A sound made me spin around, a soft, deliberate tapping, coming from the corner where the shadows were thickest. And then, from the mirror, a whisper, low and cold. Jonathan and I stumbled backward, heart racing. The figure in the reflection stepped closer, tall, dark, its features indistinct yet horrifyingly human. The eyes glimmered like polished obsidian, and when it spoke, it was in my voice. "You should not have come." The door slammed shut behind me, echoing through the vast empty wing. I ran to it, but the handle would not turn. Panic surged as the whispers multiplied, circling the room, pressing against my mind. The mirror reflected not only me, but countless versions of me, twisted and distorted, screaming silently, and then silence. I sank to the floor, shaking, the shadows coiling around the edges of the room like living things. I realized then that the east wing had been waiting for someone to open it, to see, to awaken what lay dormant for decades. And I had paid the price.